Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rokah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and bishops of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Salutations to the prophets and beloved brothers who continue to exhort the sheep daily and keep them well fed. The title of this epistle is going to be entitled, Pack Your Bags and Flee. Yes, pack your bags and get ready to dart out the door. As we can see, the escalation of wars and rumors of wars overseas, which will bring about more prophecy in these times, to be on guard and to be watchful and to be prompt and ready at all times, to be very alert while receiving this sincere word, and to pack your bags and to flee. Let's go into what is being said here and how our heart posture should be prepared. These bags that we're packing and hoping that they will bring some kind of comfort. What should be in our bags? Well, we're supposed to be preparing spiritually, preparing our spiritual bags. What will be found inside of our bags in the times that we will need to eat and to drink and to provide comfort for us. Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 6 says, "Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of Yahweh's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense." It has always been the Most High Yahweh's perfect will to destroy this great whore of Babylon, who has made the entire world drink from her cup of iniquities, and is a truly defiled cup. And he's telling those that fear and reverence him and keep his ways to flee out of the midst of that and do not take on her iniquities. Separate yourself from the ways of this world and the customs of it. So to pack your bags and to flee out of the midst of it. This is not to have some provision provided for you, but have no faith that that is going to be the substance that's going to prolong life or rescue you in the times of desperation. But to go into the scriptures and be fed with the truth that is able to make you whole and cleanse you from iniquities is what you should be preserving in your spiritual bug out bag, if you will, because this is of the utmost importance. And what will you put your trust and faith into? We will grab the next verse found in Luke chapter 18 and verse 8. It says, "I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on earth?" Your faith is ultimately going to be tested. This will separate those who are weak in the faith and those who will be strengthened and continue to strengthen themselves with wisdom, because the knowledge of wisdom removes fear. This is why he says, "I don't give you a spirit of fear. I give you a spirit of sound faith," that you should trust and believe in what he says will come to pass and how he will ultimately cover you and provide for you in every moment along the way until the time of the end. This is what we put our faith and our trust into. He says, "Do not store up for yourselves anything that thieves and moths can come in and destroy and steal from you, but store up for yourself things in heaven, things that are going to be profoundly useful for you to continuously be fed in your times of need." So will he find faith, or are you going to rely on your bug out bags and all those things that will not provide safety and or help in the times of need? So to pack your bags and to flee, there's a difference between those who are going to maneuver in a way where they're trying to save the flesh, save save those around them in the flesh, using instruments of war and so on and so forth. But to provide true safety comes with first the elect man of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and providing you the sound wisdom on how to be a guiding light in these dark and desperate times, because war is on the rise, and that will lead to a shortage in all things, and the prices of goods ultimately being shot up, which in turn will also reflect the markets and how they price things out accordingly, depending on how severe of a shortage they can't get those supplies in. So we must be built up in the faith and understanding and be sound in it, because in Hebrews 11:1 it says, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So because we believe in what the promises were written via the prophets of old and expressly through Yahweh Shai, given from the Most High Yahweh, is ultimately going to fill us with that peace that passes all understanding. We rely solely on the truth of the Gospels, that he has come to and he will redeem his children and cover them in times of desperations. And this is our hope, right? This is our hope. Let's go into Ezekiel chapter 20. This is for those who want to save their flesh and provide themselves and their families with passports, and to flee out of the midst of Babylon, to save your flesh. To save your flesh, right? Ezekiel chapter 20. Ezekiel chapter 20. Quickly. Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 33. Verse 33 on down a little bit. This is what the sovereign Yahweh says. He says, as I live, saith Yahweh power, surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out will I rule over you, and I will bring you out from the people, and I will gather you out of the countries wherein you are scattered. He says that he will come to your rescue. He is going to gather you. He is going to cause you to move through your spirit, and I will bring you out from the people, and I will gather you out of the countries wherein you are scattered, with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out. And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face. In this very moment, we are all being tested spiritually and through our actions that will ultimately lead up to different events, which we have the hope to eventually leading up to our exit into the promised land, right? At this very moment, this is not a time where we will then be tested in the wilderness, but we are being tested right now. Verse 36, like I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Mitzrayim, so will I plead with you, saith Yahweh power. And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant. This is a process that will ultimately lead into the fullness of the second covenant, being covered over by those who endured to the end and put all full faith and trust into our sovereign power, Yahweh. So we are not yet under the second covenant. We are working towards that to be fulfilled. There's still a process, right? And I will purge out from among you the rebels and them that transgress against me. This is the separation between the 1/3 who will ultimately receive that covenant promise and to be redeemed. And then there's a portion of the children of Israel, 2/3, well, that will ultimately be removed and off the face of the earth. I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Yasharallah. And ye shall know that I am Yahweh your power. So this is what the sovereign Yahweh has declared. He says that he will gather us with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and with his fury poured out. So there's going to be things happening in the midst of a gathering, right? Verse 41, I will accept you with your sweet savor, and I will bring you out from the people, and I will gather you out of the countries wherein you've been scattered, and I will be sanctified in you before the heathen. So there's a separation between the children of Israel being collected, sanctified, purged out in the wilderness, in the midst of being around heathens, all these different countries in which the children of Israel has been scattered. There is no elect of the house of Israel, house of David, in our natural land right now. That is not happening. The land has to be purged out and cleansed, and then there's going to be a regathering of the elect of the house of Yasharallah, those of the 12 tribes of Israel, the seed line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So we will be sanctified. We will be sanctified. That means purified, considered Kodash, holy, cleansed, in white robes, right? This is prophetic speaking. I will accept you with your sweet savor. Our sweet savor is our good works. Did we abide and not transgress? Did we do our due diligence to make our calling and election sure? Is what he's saying, right? Is what he's saying. We're going to go to Ezekiel chapter 34. In Ezekiel chapter 34. We're going to touch on, I'll do 13. Ezekiel chapter 34 and 13. And I will bring them out from the people and gather them from the countries, and I will bring them to their land and feed them upon the mountains of Yasharallah, by the rivers, and in all the inhabited places of the country. Again, we see this being suggested throughout the prophets and throughout the scriptures, that there has to be a gathering of the scattered, of the diaspora, all those who have the seed line stemming back from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Again, this is not a color thing. This is not a skin color thing. This is a seed line heritage thing, because through history and generations of captivities and mix and mingling with other nations, it has changed our DNA ultimately, and has lightened our skin and changed a lot of features in us, right? Ezekiel 34 verse 16. And I will seek that which was lost, the lost sheep of the house of Israel, Matthew 10, right? And bring them again which was driven away, and will bind up that which was broken, and I will strengthen that which was sick. But I will destroy the fat and the strong, and I will feed them with judgment. We are learning his ways, and we are being purged in the process and being stripped of the Gentile mindset and customs that we have been taught in this strange land, this strange nation with a strange tongue and strange behaviors and a strange spirit, so we can receive all the ways that we would be operating in our native land. This land is not native to us. We must be purged through this process of sanctification to be brought underneath the second covenant, right? 2 Corinthians. So pack your bags and flee immediately. Pack your bags immediately. Get this word, put it into your spiritual bug out bag, so you have plenty to eat along the way. 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 17. It says, wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith Yahweh, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. And I will be a father unto you, and ye shall be my sons and my daughters, saith Yahweh power, or Yahweh Elohim. This is what he says: to be separate, to come out from amongst the people. Get ready to pack your bags. Get ready to the reward of the kingdom. Get ready to be purged out through the process of the wheat and tares, to be refined, right? To have your faith tested and to build on those areas, to have those accommodations that make a holy person holy, right? This is what the sovereign Yahweh has declared. So to pack your bags and to flee spiritually. This does not say to go and drive somewhere far and to, it doesn't say any of that. Jeremiah. Let's go to Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 31. Jeremiah chapter 31. Boom. Jeremiah chapter 31 verse 8. Jeremiah chapter 31 verse 8. It says, behold, I will bring them from the north country. We are in the north country, North America, and gather them from the coast of the earth, and with them the blind and the lame, the woman and the child, and her that travaileth with child together. A great company shall return thither. Right? A great company shall return thither. And they shall come with weeping and with supplications, and I will lead them, and I will cause them to walk by the rivers of water in a straight way, right? Wherein they shall not stumble. No longer will we be stumbling and not knowing our way on how to keep righteousness, but we will know how to walk in a straight way, having those rivers of waters to guide us and keep us locked into the commands. For I am a father to Israel, and Ephraim is my firstborn. It's the regathering of the northern and southern kingdom, right? Verse 16. Thus saith Yahweh power, refrain thy voice from weeping, and thine eyes from tears, for thy work shall be rewarded, saith Yahweh, and they shall come again from the land of the enemy. And there is hope in thine end, saith Yahweh, that the children shall come again to their own border. He says to come again to their own border, right? What else I want to grab? Verse 27. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will sow the house of Israel and the house of Judah with the seed of man. This is the replenishing of the northern and southern kingdom, the 12 tribes of Israel, right? With the seed of man, and with the seed of beasts we will begin to flourish and multiply. Righteousness will begin to grow. And it shall come to pass that, like as I have watched over them to pluck up and to break down and to throw down and to destroy and to afflict, so will I watch over them to build and to plant, saith Yahweh power. This is what the sovereign Lord has declared: to pack your bags and to flee. To pack your bags and to flee. Lock in and get some understanding, and to wash your garments. Jeremiah chapter 23. Jeremiah chapter 23. And verse 3. Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 3, it says, and I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all the countries where I have driven them, and will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. And I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them, because he likened the people of Israel as his sheep, and he has provided the nation of Yasharallah, Israel, shepherds, heads of the 12 tribes that will be judges and rulers and shepherds over the 12 tribes of Israel, those that will be redeemed from all these judgments. And I will set up shepherds over them, and I will feed them, and they shall no more fear, nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, saith Yahweh. This is no more under the curses, but now under the second covenant, in full bloom, full of blessings. And what a joyous experience that day will be for those who remain until the very end, right? We're going to grab Isaiah chapter 45. Isaiah chapter 45. Oh, He says, Isaiah chapter 45 and 17, but Israel shall be saved in the Lord Yahweh with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. That world of Israel is who the Messiah came and was made a sacrifice for the redemption of the 12 tribes of Israel. For the Most High Yahweh has loved the world so much that he sent his only beloved son Yahweh Shai into the world to be stripped of all his royal garments, to become a poor man, to redeem those that were oppressed under the bondage underneath the heathens. So we cleave to Yahweh Shai and his promises to receive that blood covering so we can be redeemed out of these nations in which we were scattered and to made servants to, right? That's that. So, final verse. Isaiah chapter 33. Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6. It says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and the strength of thy salvation. So make sure in your bug out bags, your spiritual bug out bags, that you're putting this wisdom together. And that way, in the times of need, you can go into your spiritual bug out bag and eat from it to fill it up, to bring you comfort, to bring you wisdom, so you can hear his word when he speaks, so you can make the proper adjustments and moving according to his word, so that way you do not receive of her plagues. To come out and have your bug out bags ready. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. When you fear the Most High, it moves you spiritually to behave in a particular way. It's in full attention, no distractions. This is why he says to come out and be separate, because there's a lot of confusion and babble going on, and what you need is a really bright light to see through all the darkness and lies and confusion. And you will receive that through his shepherds that he will place over you for you to have a guiding light in these dark times. And I pray this was edifying. And until the next time, shalom.